Is the Meisner technique only good for theater? I get asked this a lot. Look, truth is truth. Sanford Meisner's quote is, you cannot fake real. You cannot fake real emotion in a big theater or small, big screen or small. In life as well, you cannot fake real. And so the Meisner technique at its core is all about truth and authenticity. It's all about being present and not acting. The most important qualities in film acting are what? Being present. That camera, which is in our faces, has been called a lie detector test, 24 frames a second, back when they shot on film, 30, whatever. And so the ability to be present with your partner with a camera right there. And of course, what's the other important part of film acting? It's reacting. They always cut to the person having the reaction who's receiving the news by being present, by being truthful in the moment, by being trained that this is how you work. My God, these are the gifts of film acting. This is what real talent is in film acting. The absolute laser-focused presence that allows our imagination and our talent to be on full display right here. You know, one of the best examples, if you've done much film acting, you know how true this can be early on. In fact, I'm going to share with you just an absolutely magical tip here in just a second. You know, the camera's here. We're getting your coverage, okay? We're getting your coverage, okay? I'm great when the camera's over here. Flip the camera around and now get my coverage, and now I'm working off of you, but the camera's right there. That camera's looking, you know, right at me. However the hell you do that. Early in my career, I was struck by how free I was when it was over here, and how I started to not act, but definitely be less present and free. I didn't act, but I was nowhere near as grounded and real. I was distracted by that camera. So here comes the tip. You ready? This came to me from an article of Robert Duvall's, one of Sandy's great film acting proteges. And he said the biggest mistake that actors make is that they try in film acting, they try to, you know, make the camera go away, to not think about the camera, to make it disappear. It's never going to happen. The more you try to do that, the more you're going to be conscious of it. He said instead, what you need to do is make love to that camera. Granted, you're not looking into the lens. You should be, that camera's supposed to be there, just like the other actor's supposed to be there. That camera's supposed to be there. You're making a movie, the sound person, the boom mic, the gaff, all these people, everybody's supposed to be there. You, the other actor, and the camera too. Once you really, and I mean, I'm telling you, you do this, the next time you go do a scene or work in front of a camera, you won't believe the transformation in this teaching. You literally make peace with it. I'm glad you're there. I'm glad you're capturing this. You do your job and I'm going to do my job, and here we go. Oh my God. It becomes fun. It dissolves. It dissolves the wrong phrase. It just doesn't matter. And so that was transformative for me. But it goes back to the teaching. Is the Meisner technique good for all mediums? My God. Again, I heard this one teacher, I teach in the Bay Area, and they were bagging, somebody had interviewed me, came to me for an interview, and they said, well, I heard that the Meisner technique's not any good. It's only good for theater. This gets perpetuated? Yeah, perpetrated. Whatever the right word is. Stay in your lane, Jim. Because, you know, people, they're trying to bag on you so they can rise up, take your pick or whatever, or maybe they actually believe it, whatever. But I'm just reaching out to you in this Meisner Technique community to let you know that, shit, man, real is real. This is our strength. Film, theater, television, it doesn't matter. Are there differences between the two mediums? Hell yes. In terms of craft and technique? Hell yes, absolutely. And can Meisner-trained actors, even well-trained Meisner-trained actors, cause some problems in film because of how spontaneous and free they are if they don't understand how to work within this medium? Yes, yes, yes. And it's one of the many reasons why at my studio we teach the Meisner technique exactly how Sandy wanted it presented. And so you're going to, it's the foundation in order exactly. But because of that, the importance, we also offer a lot of specialty classes. For example, film acting in the Meisner technique is an incredibly important class for our students so that they understand how to be so free and instinctive within this medium where you're going to be more contained. So again, are there things that you have to learn about film acting if you're used to working in theater? Of course. And look, I'm not going to break it all down right now. Maybe someday, if you guys want to, we can get more specific or have maybe even a Q&A session together someday. Let me know if that's of interest. But until then, I just want to just address that because it's come up recently, and maybe you've heard it. Maybe you're thinking it. Maybe you're thinking about doing the technique, but I've heard this as well. So I can assure you, from Bobby Duvall and Steve McQueen and Susan Sarandon and Joanne Woodward and Diane Keaton and John Cassavetes and Naomi Watts and Philip Seymour Hoffman and Timothy Chalamet, and I can never say his name right. Hell, even Tom Cruise is Meisner trained. He had some training in the technique. And I could go on and on and on. Jim Carrey. These are people that have Meisner as their foundation and or completely. It's Sam Rockwell, my God. Allison Janney. It goes on and on. People that are trained to work this way who can work in the medium of film and television and kick ass. But hell, it's their superpower because of how present they are, how instinctive they are, and how much that camera falls in love with their truth in the moment. Okay? So if you have any other, like, I heard this, or I heard, the Meisner technique's not this or that, or this or that, and maybe it's not. There's a few drawbacks to this technique. There are, whether it's film, theater, or television. If they're not addressed, you're going to leave your training not knowing those. We address those too. And so, again, we can talk about all those someday. Okay? I hope that helps. See you soon. Keep the questions coming. Okay, bye.